Hello, this is Chef John from Foodwishes.com with no-bake mac and cheese with a crispy potato chip gratin. This is such a cool trick. Macaroni and cheese with a crispy topping that doesn't go in the oven. Unbelievable. And here's what I did. So I took one bag of those kettle-style extra super crunchy potato chips. I'm using a white cheddar flavored or a New York cheddar flavored version. You know which one I'm talking about, right? So take your potato chips, throw them in a bag, pound them with something. I suggest a rolling pin until you have crumbs about that size. All right, not too small, not powder, but not large chunks either. All right, just about like that. All right, we're going to take those, dump them in a large non-stick skillet, put the heat on medium. I'm going to add a pat of butter, all right, unsalted butter, about a tablespoon. I'm also going to add a few tablespoons of plain breadcrumb and freshly grated Reggiano Parmesan, all right, the real stuff. All right, you got to look for the Reggiano. Ask the cheese person. No fake Parmesan in this. It won't work. All right, so the butter's going to melt, and then basically on medium heat, or maybe a little lower than medium, but just about medium, you're going to toast all this in the butter, the potato chip crumbs, the breadcrumbs, and the Parmesan cheese, of course. You're going to toast all that in the pan until golden brown. Now, you got to keep an eye on it. The potato chips are already kind of golden colored, so you're going to have to keep it moving and keep watching. You'll actually start to smell it. You'll start to smell that Parmesan caramelizing, and you'll see on the edges, see that? Just the slightest bit of browning happening on the edges. All right, so you don't want to go too far, but you want to make sure they're very well toasted and caramelized. All right, when that's done, turn off the heat, set aside. So our topping is done. I'm going to take a lot of cheese. I'm using a combination of orange, extra sharp cheddar, and the white cheese there is Cave-Age Gruyere. I'm going to give all the specific recipe ingredient amounts in the post, as I always do on Food Wishes. And then we're going to need one batch prepared bechamel sauce. All right, I'm also going to give the measurements for that. So simple. We've done it in many recipes, but I will link to the video in case you're not clear. So when you're going to put in the cheese, turn the heat off or to as low as it goes if you have like an ultra low setting. You cannot boil cheese, you cannot cook cheese. It will get all grainy and separated. Put it in there, stir it around till it melts. When it melts, you're ready to use it. And what are we going to use it on? Boiled elbow macaroni. So I'm going to boil about a cup of elbow macaroni in salted water. I just want to make a couple portions. Now when you're doing a no-bake mac and cheese, cook the pasta all the way. We usually undercook it a little if we're going to put it in the oven, but this was cooked till it was tender. I'm going to drain it really well, and there's no measurements here. I'm going to stir in enough cheese until I have a beautiful mixture. The batch of cheese sauce that I'm going to give you the amounts for is enough for a 1 pound box of macaroni. But I'm only using a cup here because I don't want to waste. And by the way, with the extra cheese sauce, you can just keep that in the fridge and microwave it when you need it to loosen it up. The gratin topping can be made ahead and just warmed up in a pan briefly before serving. So all this stuff can be made ahead of time, and then you simply boil your pasta when you want to eat. And you can see just how amazing and delicious that looks. Creamy, rich. So all we did was take a standard white sauce, added our cheese to it, and mixed it in with cooked pasta. And you're thinking, hey, that looks pretty good. And it is good. But when you go ahead and then top with crispy, buttery, cheesy potato chip crumbs, unbelievable. All right. Usually I try to describe how awesome stuff is so you get all inspired to cook it. This time I can't because it's too awesome to describe. Its awesomeness is infinite. That'd be kind of a cool t-shirt. Anyway, there it is. I'm digging in. Just simply incredible. Okay, so I really hope you give this a try. This will work on any mac and cheese recipe you like. You can even use this on a baked mac and cheese. Just don't saute it in the pan as long. Just give it a couple minutes, top the mac and cheese, and bake that half hour like you usually do. It'll still work. So you can use this as a traditional topping if you want, but really it's designed for this use here. Macaroni, cheese in a bowl, top with the crispy topping, and you are in mac and cheese heaven. I hope you give this a try. All the ingredients for all the different parts are on the site, including a link to the sauce. And as always, enjoy.